I'm going to do a little talking here, and this is probably going to end up cut up and edited into a short. How cantilever scope mounts work. This weapon is not clear and safe. It's loaded, so while I'm handling it, you guys just know that anywhere this barrel points, it's pointing a loaded weapon at something, so watch out, Cage. This is where the handguard meets the Picatinny rail that's part of the receiver. A cantilever mount is designed so that you can get your scope or optic close to your charging handle, so that when you are using the weapon, your charging handle is a little more accessible. And because scopes are not particularly forgiving for where you can mount them, so like a set of traditional scope rings, I can't get one all the way up to here without it being on my handguard rail. So the whole reason for this cantilever, and I mean, they work both ways. Some people use short optics and a cantilever the opposite way so that they can actually get their optic further back on a rail that they have like backup irons. But as you can see, every single one of my ARs has some form of cantilever mount. And so every single one of these, when you look at it and people say, well, that's mounted on your handguard rail and not on your receiver rail. Well, it is absolutely over the top of the handguard rail. However, it's not mounted on the rail. Here's the one that we were arguing about on the internet, and I've pulled the optic off of it. And as you can see, the handguard rail is painted, and the receiver pick rail is not painted because there was a cantilever mount there. Here's one. This one's leaning way over the handguard rail. It's not mounted to the handguard rail. So, and I feel like, you know, the angle was like this, and of course it's got the QD on it. This is not a QD cantilever. This is just a traditional cantilever. For one, some of you don't know what you're looking at. Some of you maybe don't pay very good attention to detail. And so it's just that thing of me, oh yeah, just showing you this one's loaded. That way you know I'm not handling an unloaded gun. You couldn't have that. Some of you just want to argue, and I don't know how to explain this. You're arguing with the wrong crowd. You're arguing for the wrong reason about something that you don't understand well enough to be arguing about in defense of a product that like you can't use well enough to understand what's wrong with it. When I'm explaining what's the matter with a Sig Whiskey4, I got a feeling that some of y'all who are arguing about it, you probably don't have enough shooting experience or skill to recognize, even if that problem existed in your own system, in your own scope and in your own weapon, that it only takes a YouTube video to prove me wrong, or to show that your personal system doesn't suffer from the same problems as me. I heard Lemon Grenade say it recently, like, YouTube is free. Still, it's free to make an account, to upload a video, and to make a video of your own displaying that a problem I have is not a problem in your system. And that's why I make the videos I make. Like, the problem that I had, I'm not obviously getting paid from Sig to talk trash about their product. I'm just sharing an experience that can hopefully help you avoid a $500 mistake that I made. I would have been better to pay the extra $150 or $200 and get at least a Viper grade vortex, and I would have never had the problems that I had with the Sig Whiskey4. So I'm not saying any of that for gain, other than that I've monetized the YouTube and I make money off of videos. So if you watch it, and if enough people watch it, then I make $1. That particular video, not enough people even watched it for me to make $1. So that, like, I'm not even making money off of that video. I'm just sharing an issue that happened and my experience with Sig not getting back to me when I wrote to them about the issue. I still have not heard from Sig. I reached out to their customer service. I haven't reached out a second time, but I never heard back from them when I said that I had a scope, that the parallax did not work, and I wanted my money back. Never heard back from them. That'll about do it here. I just wanted to take a minute and explain something that, I mean, it pops up every now and again in the comments that, you know, the reasons why Uncle Phil is a dummy. And like, well, there's a lot of reasons why I'm a dummy, but where my scopes are mounted isn't one of them. That's all. I'm not saying I'm not a dummy. I'm plenty of a dummy. But this ain't one of them. Trust me.